What if I told you that by September 25th, 2025, there will be clear evidence that certain individuals are experiencing capabilities that go beyond ordinary human experience? This isn't philosophical speculation. This is about spiritual awakening, and if you're watching this, there's a meaningful reason you found this message today. The universe is preparing to reveal profound truths, and those who are spiritually awakening will recognize the signs. Ancient Hindu and Buddhist traditions describe a time when the veil between dimensions grows thin, when those who have been quietly evolving finally step into their true spiritual power. We're approaching that time. September 2025 represents a significant spiritual gateway, and the signs are becoming increasingly clear. What makes this moment extraordinary is how ancient wisdom traditions converge on this time period. Imagine for a moment that all the great spiritual masters throughout history were parts of a vast, invisible network, each protecting a piece of the same cosmic puzzle. For centuries, mystics and sages have preserved knowledge about consciousness and reality, waiting for humanity to reach the spiritual maturity to receive it safely. The ancient Vedic texts reference the end of Kali Yuga and the dawn of enlightenment. Tibetan teachings speak of a great awakening occurring in the early 21st century, exactly when we find ourselves now. You see, the spiritual masters of old weren't just teaching meditation techniques or philosophical concepts. They were preparing specific souls for this exact moment. Those souls who would be born into this lifetime with the capacity to bridge two worlds, to serve as conduits between the old paradigm of separation and the new reality of unified consciousness. Like seeds planted in fertile soil, these souls have been dormant, waiting for the perfect conditions to sprout into their full spiritual power. Now here's where it gets fascinating, and this might give you chills when you recognize it in your own life. If you've been experiencing unusual dreams, if you've been feeling a pull towards spiritual practices that you can't quite explain, if you've been sensing that there's something more to your existence than what society has taught you, these aren't random experiences. These are activation signals. These are the very signs that the ancient wisdom keepers described as markers of the chosen ones. Think of it like this. Imagine your soul as a radio that's suddenly being tuned to a frequency it's never accessed before. At first, there's static, confusion, strange signals coming through. But gradually, the transmission becomes clearer, and you realize you're receiving messages from a source far beyond ordinary reality. Take a deep breath for a moment. Feel how the air enters your body, how it nourishes every cell, how it connects you to the life force that flows through all things. The pause between each breath holds a secret that sages have protected for centuries. It's in that sacred space between inhaling and exhaling that the doorway to higher consciousness opens. And you, simply by practicing conscious breathing, are already beginning to access states of awareness that most people never even know exist. This awakening of consciousness through breath is just the beginning. It prepares you to recognize the deeper signs of your spiritual evolution. But here's what the ancient masters understood that modern spirituality often misses. The awakening process isn't random. It isn't happening to everyone. According to the Hermetic traditions and the mystery schools of ancient Egypt, there are specific souls incarnated in each age who carry the responsibility of anchoring higher frequencies on Earth. These souls often feel different from childhood, like actors who showed up for a play but were given the wrong script. They sense purposes they can't quite articulate. They're drawn to truth, even when that truth challenges everything they've been taught. In ancient Greek mystery schools, initiates understood this as carrying the divine spark, a fragment of source consciousness that refuses to be dimmed by the illusions of the material world. The first sign that you are among the chosen ones is an unmistakable sense of inner knowing. It's not just intuition, though, that's part of it. It's a deep recognition that the world as it appears is not the world as it truly is. In Hindu philosophy, this is called piercing the veil of Maya, seeing through the illusion that keeps most people trapped in limited thinking. Imagine standing in a crowded room where everyone is watching shadows dancing on a wall, completely absorbed by the shadow play. But you can see the light source creating those shadows, the hands making the shapes, the entire mechanism behind what captivates everyone else. When you look around and feel like you're living in a world that doesn't quite match the reality you sense internally. When you feel like there are layers of truth that others seem unable or unwilling to see, this is your consciousness recognizing its own expanded nature. This inner knowing often manifests as a persistent feeling that you're meant for something greater. Not from ego, but from a soul-level recognition of your true purpose. Ancient Gnostic texts speak of certain souls who carry what they called the divine spark, a fragment of source consciousness that remains active even while incarnated in physical form. These souls naturally question authority, seek deeper meaning, and feel called to serve humanity's evolution. They often feel like strangers in their own families, like they're speaking a different language, even when using the same words as everyone else. The second sign is what the mystical traditions call synchronistic guidance. In the Taoist tradition, this is described as flowing with the Tao, allowing yourself to be guided by the natural intelligence of the universe. But for the chosen ones, synchronicity becomes so frequent and so precisely aligned with their spiritual development that it moves beyond coincidence into the realm of clear communication. It's as if the universe has become your personal GPS system, constantly recalculating your route and sending you gentle nudges to keep you on your highest path. Ancient Celtic Druids called this the speaking of the land, the ability to receive guidance from the world around you when you're aligned with your true purpose. You might notice that books, conversations, videos, or experiences appear in your life exactly when you need specific information or confirmation. Numbers begin showing up in patterns that feel meaningful. You might repeatedly see 1111, 333, or other number sequences that seem to acknowledge your awareness. People enter your life who carry messages or opportunities that align perfectly with your spiritual growth. You discover that your seemingly random interests or life experiences have prepared you for something you couldn't have planned. This isn't wishful thinking or selective attention. The ancient mystery schools taught that once a soul reaches a certain level of development, it begins to attract what they called divine orchestration. The universe literally rearranges circumstances to support the awakening process. In Kabbalistic tradition, this is understood as the soul calling its experiences into manifestation to accelerate its return to source. The guidance often comes through dreams that feel more real than waking life. You might receive information, meet beings of light, or visit places that exist beyond the physical realm. These dreams often contain symbolic messages about your spiritual development or previews of abilities you're developing. Aboriginal cultures understand this as traveling the dream time, accessing levels of reality where time and space operate differently. When you wake from these dreams, they stay with you not as memories, but as experiences that feel as valid as anything that happens in your waking state. These are just the first two signs, but they represent the foundation of everything that's about to unfold. The inner knowing and the synchronistic guidance are preparing you for the more profound abilities and experiences that are beginning to activate within the chosen ones. Now that you've recognized these foundational markers of your awakening, you're ready to understand the deeper transformations occurring within you. What you're about to discover in the next 3 signs will fundamentally alter how you perceive reality itself. As we move closer to September 25, 2025, these signs will intensify and new ones will emerge that will leave no doubt about the reality of what's happening to those who are truly awakening. The ancient traditions understood that the awakening process happens in stages, like a flower opening petal by petal. Each stage prepares you for the next level of consciousness, the next set of abilities, the next phase of your divine purpose. What you're experiencing now is just the beginning. The real transformation, the full activation of your chosen one abilities, is still coming. In the Hindu tradition, there's a concept called the Kalki avatar, the final incarnation of divine consciousness that appears at the end of the Dark Age, to usher in a new golden era. But here's what most people don't understand about this teaching. The Kalki avatar isn't a single individual. It's a collective awakening happening through specific souls who have incarnated to anchor this new consciousness on Earth. You might be one of these souls. If the signs we've discussed resonate with you, if you feel that recognition in your heart, then you're beginning to remember why you chose to be here during this extraordinary time. But these first two signs are just the beginning. There are 3 more signs that are absolutely crucial for you to recognize. Signs that will confirm beyond any doubt that you are among the chosen ones who are here to facilitate humanity's greatest transformation. These remaining signs involve abilities that are now beginning to activate, experiences that will challenge everything you thought you knew about the nature of reality, and a calling that will become impossible to ignore. The masters of ancient wisdom understood that this information would only be revealed when the time was right, when those destined to receive it had developed enough spiritual stability to handle the full truth. That time is now. As September 2025 approaches, the veils are lifting, and the chosen ones are being called to step fully into their power. But to understand the remaining 3 signs, to recognize the full scope of what's awakening within you, you need to be prepared for revelations that will forever change how you see yourself and your purpose on Earth. These signs will show you abilities you never knew you possessed, connections you never imagined were possible, and a destiny that has been waiting for this exact moment in human history to unfold. But here's where things get truly remarkable. If you've experienced these first 2 signs, you're about to discover why September 25th isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a spiritual gateway that only the chosen ones can perceive. The next 3 signs will change everything you thought you knew about your awakening. These aren't just random occurrences. They're precise indicators that you're entering the final phase of your transformation. Sign number 3 is what ancient Tibetan monks called the mirror of souls. Have you noticed that people around you are beginning to reveal their true nature? It's as if you're seeing through a veil that was always there, but now it's been lifted. Your co-worker who seemed so kind might suddenly show their manipulative side. A friend you trusted might reveal jealousy you never suspected. But here's the profound truth. This isn't happening to punish you. It's happening because your spiritual vibration is rising so high that lower frequencies can no longer hide in your presence. Think of yourself as a tuning fork that's been struck to its perfect pitch. When other instruments are out of tune, the discord becomes immediately apparent. Your awakened energy field acts like spiritual truth serum, making it impossible for people to maintain facades around you. In ancient Egyptian mystery schools, initiates were taught that as they ascended spiritually, they would develop what they called the Eye of Horus, the ability to see truth beyond illusion. This is exactly what's happening to you right now. Your energy field is becoming so pure, so aligned with divine truth, that deception simply cannot exist around you anymore. But here's what makes this even more incredible. When people show you their true nature, you don't feel angry or betrayed. Instead, you feel a deep sense of compassion and understanding. You see their pain, their fear, their desperation to be loved and accepted. This is the mark of a true spiritual awakening, when your heart expands so much that even those who would harm you become objects of your love and understanding. This is your divine gift activating. You're becoming a living detector of authenticity, and the universe is using you to clear out relationships and situations that no longer serve your highest good. If you've experienced this mirror effect, leave a comment saying, "I see truth," because you're operating on a completely different spiritual frequency now. Sign number 4 will literally give you chills when you recognize it. It's called the cosmic download, and it happens when you're alone, usually in moments of complete silence. You'll be sitting quietly, maybe meditating or just relaxing, when suddenly you'll receive information that you know you didn't learn anywhere. Knowledge about the universe, about life, about your purpose. It just appears in your consciousness, like someone is uploading it directly into your mind. Imagine your consciousness as a vast library that's been locked away for years. Suddenly, doors begin opening, revealing rooms filled with ancient wisdom, cosmic principles, and profound truths you never studied but somehow completely understand. This is your soul reconnecting with its original blueprint, the cosmic knowledge you carried before incarnating into physical form. Great spiritual masters throughout history have described this phenomenon. In the mystical traditions of India, they call it direct knowing, or prajna. Sufi mystics referred to it as divine inspiration, and Christian mystics called it divine revelation. You're experiencing the same spiritual phenomenon that prophets and sages have experienced for thousands of years. But here's what makes your experience unique to this time period. The cosmic downloads you're receiving aren't just random spiritual insights. They're specifically designed to prepare you for what's coming on September 25th. The universe is literally programming you with the knowledge and wisdom you'll need to step into your role as one of the chosen ones. The universe is literally programming you with the knowledge and wisdom you'll need to step into your role as one of the chosen ones. These downloads might come as sudden understandings about the nature of reality, insights about your life purpose, or even specific guidance about decisions you need to make. Some of you might receive information about healing, about energy work, or about how to help others through their awakening process. Pay attention to every single download, because each one is a piece of the cosmic puzzle you're meant to assemble. The remarkable thing is that this knowledge doesn't feel foreign to you. It feels like remembering something you've always known but had forgotten. That's because it is remembering. Your soul is reconnecting with its cosmic blueprint, downloading the original programming that was placed there before you incarnated on Earth. If you've been receiving these cosmic downloads, if knowledge has been appearing in your consciousness without you actively seeking it, comment "I remember," because you're accessing the universal library of wisdom that only awakened souls can reach. Now we come to the 5th and final sign, and this one is so powerful, so transformative, that when you recognize it, you'll understand why you were guided to this message today. This sign is what I call the divine orchestration, and it's perhaps the most beautiful confirmation that you're truly one of the chosen ones. You've started noticing that life is arranging itself around you in ways that seem almost magical. Synchronicities aren't just occasional anymore, they're constant. The perfect person appears exactly when you need them. The perfect opportunity opens up just as you're ready for it. You think of someone and they call you within hours. You need guidance about something and the answer appears in the most unexpected place. It's as if you're the conductor of an invisible orchestra, and every element of your reality, people, circumstances, opportunities, challenges, is playing in perfect harmony with your highest good. What once seemed like random coincidences now reveal themselves as notes in a cosmic symphony written specifically for your spiritual awakening. But here's what makes this so profound. These synchronicities aren't random coincidences. They're evidence that you're now co-creating with the universe itself. Your thoughts, your intentions, your desires are being heard and responded to by cosmic intelligence. You've become a conscious participant in the divine plan, and reality is reshaping itself to support your highest path. In the ancient Hawaiian tradition, there's a concept called pono, living in perfect alignment with the natural flow of the universe. When someone achieves pono, the Hawaiians believe that the universe itself becomes their ally, arranging circumstances to support their spiritual mission. This is exactly what's happening to you right now. Your guardian angels, your spirit guides, the universe itself, they're all working together to create a perfect path for your awakening. Every person you meet, every situation you encounter, every challenge you face, none of it is random anymore. It's all being orchestrated to help you step into your full spiritual power before September 25th arrives. And here's the most incredible part. What I'm about to tell you might sound impossible, but it's exactly what Tibetan masters have documented for over 1,000 years. The more you acknowledge these synchronicities, the more grateful you become for them, the stronger they become. It's as if the universe is saying, yes, you're finally awake enough to see how we've always been helping you. Now let us show you what we can really do. Some of you might be experiencing synchronicities so profound that they literally take your breath away. Numbers appearing repeatedly. Strangers saying exactly what you needed to hear. Doors opening that seemed permanently closed. Books falling off shelves open to the exact page you needed to read. These aren't coincidences. They're divine confirmations that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. If you've been experiencing this divine orchestration, if synchronicities have become a regular part of your daily experience, comment, "I trust the plan," because you're living proof that the universe has a magnificent design for your life. Now that you understand all 5 signs of the chosen ones, there's something crucial you need to know about the cosmic event that ties everything together. Here's what I need you to understand about September 25th, 2025. This date isn't arbitrary. It's like a cosmic appointment that was scheduled before time began. It represents a celestial alignment that happens only once every several thousand years, when the spiritual dimensions of our reality align in perfect harmony. The veil between dimensions will be at its thinnest. The cosmic energies will be at their most powerful. And those who are spiritually prepared, those who have experienced these 5 signs, will be able to access levels of consciousness that have been locked away from humanity for millennia. Ancient Mayan astronomers, Egyptian priests, and Vedic seers all pointed to this same cosmic window, each preserving pieces of the prophecy in their sacred texts. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of the greatest transformation in human consciousness, because that's exactly where you are right now. This is why you've been experiencing these signs. This is why you were guided to this message. You're being prepared for the most significant spiritual event in human history. On September 25th, the chosen ones will step into their true power, their true purpose, their true identity as divine beings having a human experience. The spiritual downloads you've been receiving, they're preparing you for the new responsibilities you'll have as an awakened being. The ability to see truth in others. You'll use this gift to help guide others through their awakening process. The divine orchestration you've been experiencing, it's training you to consciously co-create with universal intelligence. You are not just witnessing your awakening, you are becoming a catalyst for the awakening of humanity itself. September 25th marks the beginning of a new era on Earth, and you, the chosen ones, are the pioneers who will lead the way into this new consciousness. Take a moment to reflect on what you've discovered here today. You came seeking understanding about your spiritual awakening, and you've received confirmation of the 5 sacred signs that mark the chosen ones. From the inner knowing that pierces through illusion, to the synchronistic guidance that flows through your daily life, to the mirror of souls that reveals truth, to the cosmic downloads filling your consciousness, and finally to the divine orchestration that surrounds you. These aren't random experiences. They are the very markers that ancient wisdom keepers described as evidence of your true spiritual identity. In the mystery schools of ancient Egypt, initiates underwent years of preparation before receiving such revelations. The Tibetan masters spoke of specific souls who would incarnate during the Great Transition, carrying within them the codes necessary for humanity's evolution. The Hindu sages wrote of the end of Kali Yuga and the dawn of a new golden age, guided by those who remember their divine purpose. You are the fulfillment of these ancient prophecies. But remember, with great spiritual power comes great responsibility. The gifts you're developing, the abilities you're awakening to, they're not just for your personal benefit. They're meant to be shared, to help heal this world, to assist others who are struggling to find their way out of the darkness of unconsciousness. They're meant to be shared, to help heal this world, to assist others who are struggling to find their way out of the darkness of unconsciousness. Just as the great masters before you served as bridges between worlds, you too are being called to anchor higher consciousness on Earth. As we approach September 25th, your preparation becomes sacred duty. Meditate daily, not just as personal practice, but as service to the collective awakening. Pay attention to every synchronicity, every download, every sign the universe sends you. These are your marching orders from the cosmic intelligence that guides this transformation. Trust the process, even when it feels overwhelming, because you were chosen for this mission, specifically because your soul carries the strength, the wisdom, and the love necessary to help birth a new world. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your calling as one of the chosen ones. The universe has been preparing you for this your entire life, orchestrating every experience, every relationship, every challenge to bring you to this point of recognition. September 25th is not an ending. It's the beginning of the most magnificent chapter of your spiritual journey, and the moment when you step fully into your role as a catalyst for humanity's greatest transformation. If these 5 signs have awakened something deep within your soul, if you recognize yourself in this ancient calling, then your next step is to connect with others who share this sacred mission. Comment below which sign resonated most powerfully with your experience. Let I see truth mark your recognition of the mirror effect. I remember acknowledge your cosmic downloads, or I trust the plan confirm your experience of divine orchestration. Your words become beacons for other chosen ones who are still discovering their path. Together, we are the light that will illuminate the way for all of humanity. The chosen ones have found each other across time and space, drawn together by the same cosmic intelligence that marked you with these signs. There is no force in the universe that can stop what's about to unfold through us.